episode of That Range Life, a show sometimes about golf. Over there with me remotely, Chris McEwen at Chris McEwen, all the social medias, the one and only host of hit golf podcast, Golf Origin Stories. This is Bill Bush of DriveRangeHeroes.com at Range Heroes, where all your social media profiles are sold. Wow. Here we are. 121st episode as the YouTube flies. Can't wait to get with you guys this week. Get down below, hit subscribe, hit the bell, do all the YouTube things. All right. I was watching something this past week and they were making fun of how like the typical YouTube intro with all the call to actions and how that's so like passe now. And I said,
right.
Yeah, it really is, but I think you still got to do it. So we're doing it.
We're on the cusp of 1,000. I think right as we speak here, we're 101 away.
That's the last I saw today as well.
Yeah.
And
very exciting.
I think once we get to like, I don't know, 10,000 subscribers, that's when we can stop and it's more like, hey, make sure you tell a friend.
Right.
So until then,
right.
Do all those things.
We can start taking subscribers for granted when we hit the 10K mark.
Well, I mean, not for granted, but fishing for anybody who might click it.
Hey,
a little class like we've been here before.
I know you're not feeling great today.
Yeah.
But did you do anything for the long weekend? Any fun activities with the fam or anything? Did you this is traditionally a barbecue filled weekend.
Yeah.
Did you put something on the smoker or something?
So I did do some smoking and some barbecuing, but Friday, I don't remember if we've talked about it on this here show before, but we have a neighbor friend who it's tough because I don't know how much detail to go into.
Yeah.
In short, their little girl had an issue with her kidneys, and she's roughly, I want to say 6-7 years old, and they have 4 kids. Great family, sweetest people in the world, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And the girl had to get a kidney transplant, and her mom donated the kidneys. So a lot of family and friends railing around them. And, you know, we early on did the whole like, hey, do you guys need anybody to help like cook meals, whatever? And they said, well, actually, the sister put together a meal train so everybody and their mother could sign up for it. And the problem is, quote unquote problem, I'm happy to do it. The problem is when you have a neighborhood reputation of the barbecue guy, and not that you like to do it, like people start vouching for the food.
Right.
That's what people want. Now, fortunately, pulled pork is pretty easy and serves a zillion people. And early on, and this is where I feel like I may have mentioned them before, early on when they were still figuring out what was going on with the daughter, she could have 0 sodium. So I said, hey, look, I can work with that. I can make you a good pulled pork that's pretty light on the sodium. And I did. And so it went over gangbusters in that house. So Friday, even though, with work going on and everything, I smoked a 10-pound pork shoulder for them.
Okay.
And made a bunch of pulled pork and gave that to them. So that was Friday, and we saved a little for ourselves. And then I want to say Saturday, we just did some wings and some leftover pulled pork. Then there's a lot of burgers between Saturday or Sunday and Monday.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was weird. I felt like we didn't do a lot, but we were always busy,
Right.
Always doing something somewhere.
Are you aware of, apparently there's a new, I don't know if it's a trend in the barbecue world, in the smoking world, perhaps, of like a full pork rack, of smoking a pork rack.
So not just like
not a pork chop.
Not like the whole pig, you're saying.
Right. Just a rack of pork. So it's the pork chops basically all connected. It's like, have you heard of this?
Instead of like a prime rib, right? Or like
yeah.
Bunch of ribeyes in a row, like the pork chops in a row.
Right. All connected.
I'd say, yeah, I've seen it done, but not. Sometimes they'll do the like crowns with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I'm familiar.
Okay.
It's not.
There was a barbecue segment on like a radio station or something else. Like I think it was on the Scores, like sports station.
Okay.
And they were talking about that kind of stuff. And he said, because it's, with inflation, people are looking for things that maybe are a little less pricier, but still a good cut, still flavorful. So they're getting these pork racks and just smoking them that way and then just scraping all the meat off or something. I don't know. It was a little out of my depth.
Only one way to find out if that's any good. I mean, okay. I'm not going to, I mean, I think of the equivalent with beef and how prime rib is sort of that, like, I mean, let's be honest about prime rib, even when it's made well, it's sort of rubbery and
can be,
it has that like weird. And I mean, I've enjoyed many a prime rib in my life. Nothing wrong with it. Pork in itself is sort of a disgusting meat. I mean, the animal's kind of gross in general, and the way they like secrete toxins out of their body and whatnot. So I think of that. I mean, I try it. I love a good rib. I love a good pork chop, and I try it, but it sounds like it could come out a little gross.
Yeah, not a huge fan of the pork chop. If there's a full menu of things, like if that's the only thing I can get, I'll get a pork chop. But all things considered, if I've got a full menu, pork chop is very, very bottom of the list.
Yeah, I've done it more out of because fine, I've seen other people rave about it. I want to see what it's all about. But if I'm going to Gibson's, I'm not getting the pork chop.
Exactly. Right.
Why? That said, the Gibson's pork chop I did have the one time. They do it, the whole thing with applesauce and the work. It was really, really good. But why?
Yeah, exactly. My wife, she made on Friday when it was still cold. Mm-hmm. We took advantage of the cold, and she made a corned beef. Nice. An old-fashioned Jewish corned beef, like boiled it and then baked it. She makes a homemade mustard. Nice. It was so good.
I love corned beef so much.
Good. So do I. It's so good. Yeah, so good.
Beautiful. I'm jealous of that. Hey, I thought of you. I saw it and I almost tagged you. I'm like, what? I won't bother him. But it was just one of the big social media barbecue guys. He has an equivalent, a similar, but something bigger, more expensive, nicer than you have, flat top thing.
Yeah, the Blackstone. Yeah, what he's got, like a 4-burner, probably one of those massive things.
It's something giant because as an influencer, I'm sure it cost him next to nothing. So
right.
Some brand I never heard of, and he did like straight up Benihana fried rice on it.
Yeah.
And he nailed it. That's one of those foods. It's like, I don't need, well, how can you tell? You got to taste? I'm like, no, you can tell by the look of like a flat top fried rice if they nail it. And this guy nailed it.
I can't wait. I'm going to do that. So it's like, it takes a lot of prep though. You have to make the rice like the day before, cause you have to dry it out. I'm still a little light on the sauces that I want to have and need to have for that. Yeah. So there's still some prep work that I got to go through, but that is top of. So I still haven't done a smash burger. I'm going to do some smash burgers this week, and then full on fried rice, like some chicken fried rice. Yeah.
Do me a favor,
for sure.
Explain to me, because I've asked my wife, and I don't want to say appreciate. I didn't really appreciate her response. Like, I didn't feel like it added a ton to the thought. Okay. I enjoy a smash burger. Yes. Like if you go to, do you guys have a place? Oh, I can't even think of what it's called now. I know it if I saw it. All right,
like Five Guys or something?
No, it's not Eddie's. It's a new Freddy's. It's called Freddy's.
Okay. No, I'm not familiar with Freddy's.
And delightful everything. The menu's solid, but it's smashed steak burgers, right?
Okay.
And I feel like they just became an internet phenomenon because they were different. But really, I don't really understand the excitement and why people are so into them. And I don't mean that like I am judging them or think negatively.
Well, I don't think it's it's not like this or that. It's not like, oh, segment, by the way, you want a traditional pub burger or do you want a smash burger? I think there's room for any sort of style of burger. A burger is a burger and they're delicious.
Right.
I think with a Blackstone specifically, or flat iron, because you can do it on a grill with a flat iron if you got it.
Right.
The sear is a big deal, and the flavor coming off the griddle is a big deal. Just like anything else. I mean, you can make a omelet or pancakes in a pan, or you can do it on a flat top or a Blackstone, and you get a little more flavor from it. But yeah, the smash burger is really, when you're cooking on a flat top, it's really just about that sear. You sear in those, like immediately you sear in the juices right away. There's no dripping compared to a grill where you do get some juices that will escape a little bit. You can't get a grill necessarily as, not, I won't say it's hot, but the surface area coverage isn't as good. So really when you sear that burger and you smash it, you're capturing all of the juices in that burger. And then the seasoning will add to it.
Wouldn't you be, because you put them on the grill and like let's just call it a meatball size thing.
Yeah.
And then you smash it down with something. And, they would say like, hey, don't push your burger into the grill because you push the juices out. Like,
yeah.
How's that not pushing the juices out?
Well, because it's still raw. There's no juice left.
Okay.
So as you sear, so when you hit that burger, when you hit the smash burger onto the Blackstone and you smush it down, you're searing the bottom of it. Mm-hmm. No juices are going to escape there. When you flip it over, you sear the other side of it. No juices are escaping there. And that's it. That's a wrap. And the other thing too is I think, it's just a more efficient way and easier way to make a burger. It's like 2 minutes aside or whatever to get it at 160 degrees.
Right. I would say,
and they are delicious, man. A little bit of oil, you put some salt and pepper and
the lattice, the crispy lattice edges.
Yeah. I mean, there's something to that. I don't know. We'll have to do a burger challenge one day.
No, not a challenge. How about just we appreciate all the burgers?
No, that's what I mean. Like you just line them up, all these different types of burgers. Like I don't necessarily. The other thing too is
we can call it a burger appreciation celebration.
There you go. Right there you go. That sounds like a 4th of July episode, probably.
Yeah, right.
Honestly, but pub burgers. It's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot of meat.
Let's be honest. There's happy in between a pub burger and.
Of course. That's what I mean. Like, a smash burger. Right.
You call them squish burgers at that point. Maybe it's time to move on to a new topic. I will say.
That was my nickname in high school, Squish Burger.
I still call you that every now and then. Like, nice shot, Squish Burger. That's going to stick. Be heading over to Printful next.
I don't know, but I want
a t-shirt.
Everything. I want everything to be but France and Squish Burger from now on. Those.
Absolutely. I will tell you, have you ever gone down the rabbit hole of like the history of the burger in America? And one of the, they say where, I think I have this right, where smash burgers came from was out of basically a beef shortage in Oklahoma. Well, in the country, but in Oklahoma. And they had tons of onions. And so they would use the onion as a filler. And so then they'd smash that all together onto their cooking surface. And at the end, it was just, it was a thin patty.
Yeah.
And so those ones, when they see people who make those do look and sound phenomenal. What's the channel with the hot wings guy? First We Feast.
Yeah.
They have this guy who's like the burger guy there and does all these burger series, and he's very quirky.
Okay.
It is awesome. Go down the rabbit hole of watching this guy shows if you ever get a chance. That's to you, the listeners and viewers.
Yeah.
Do it. I can't. The guy's so good. The food looks good. He's very funny. Sort of a disaster in the kitchen. It's great.
Yeah.
So check that out.
That's awesome.
What about you? What was your Memorial Day like, sir?
Oh, I put it on here in the notes. Like it was it's a lot of socialization, lots of hanging out with people. On Friday, I went and played a late round of golf at Bartlett Hills by myself, 9 holes. Just wanted to talk to Phil about some stuff about the golf course and doing some things for the course. Saturday, we went to a friend's house and they barbecued and we socialized there and talked about stuff. And then Sunday, I played golf. About
stuff. Got it.
Yeah. Sunday, I played golf with my son back at Bartlett Hills. We went and played another 9 there. We also, Monday, we went to another friend's house that had a pool. So we hung out in the pool and talked about stuff. And I also, this evening, late evening, I guess, before our show, I went back to Bartlett Hills again to play golf with my daughter, the youngest of the 2 girls. And let me tell you something. I also put this in the notes. You know Phil. I know Phil. We love Phil over at Bartlett Hills. Great dude. To see him, I've never he's obviously he's a teacher. He's a PGA professional. He teaches. He gives lessons there. Seeing him in action. So he saw my daughter. He saw Kennedy hit, 2 shots off a tee, and he said, "Do X, right? I don't care where the ball goes. All I want you to do is," he was talking about getting up on her, front foot, getting the weight shifted onto the free. He's like, "I don't care where it goes. Here's where I want you to finish." And he kind of put her in the finishing position. He's like, "This is where I want you to be after you hit your shot." That's all he did. And God, right, the next tee shot, just banged it down the fairway. It was beautiful. So shout out to Phil over at Bartlett Hills, man.
It's always that easy. Always.
Dude's a magician. Yeah. He also gave me a tip, but it didn't take as well. That's not true. Actually, it did take very well because the next shot after he gave me the tip, I was on the green and 2 on a par 5. Thank you very much.
There you go.
Yeah.
I need some tips right now. Real bad.
Well, we got to get over to, I basically lived at Bartlett Hills this weekend. I'm probably going to go back there again. I don't know, this weekend coming up, just because I love it there. And, he already gave me one little tidbit of information for the golf swing. Why not grab a few more? He's handing them out over there, at least to me, not to you out there listening and watching.
Yeah, for you,
pay the man. He deserves it.
Hey, for you listeners and watchers, you probably get a discount, but there's I'm sure, very affordable and agreeable rate worth your time.
I'm sure he'll give you a good 10, 15% off if you say that you heard about it on That Range Life. He would love it, actually.
Sorry, Phil. If you just got committed to that.
I'll cover the 10%, Phil. Okay.
Chris, I feel like you just need to stop. Shh. But France.
Maybe stop talking. Listen, Squishburger, you need to shut your face.
Code words, but France. That's cool. You play golf with the kids. Always fun. I play golf with John Heisey. Haven't played with him. I realized this in 7 months.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, man, got to do better than that. And then I played golf with my good friend. I was going to say friend.
But France.
Andrew Jeselnik, Robotoaster / my graphic guy for all these years. And
oh, nice.
Always does the graphic thing. So he's one of those guys where he comes calling, hey, I need this golf thing. And it's not like, well, it's just like, what? You can just come to my house and have it,
yeah, right.
It's the least I can do. And check out his digital marketing media company. I don't even know what you'd brand them as. Robotoaster. They're super cool, tons of fun. And his buddy, who he's known from high school, who now works at Robotoaster, does graphic design stuff. And they're talking about golfing at Medina with Bob Verdi because one guy knows Bob Verdi real well from working at the Blackhawks for a bunch of years. So
that's awesome.
These guys are super fun. Andrew Jeselnik is the best. I love the baby boy so much. He's not a baby boy anymore. He's like 30. How old am I? 37. So he's 33-ish, Okay. But I was telling John, he was a freshman when we were seniors on the hockey team. And he was like, he was the one freshman who we weren't that type who's like, oh, the freshman. Like, that's not what our group was like. But he was the same time. You got your hotel rooms on the road. He was one like, hey, that freshman can come in our room. Like he can be with us. He's cool. So the guy's just he's the best. So I got to play with him. That was a lot of fun. And played at Mill Creek, the reopened Mill Creek in Geneva, and I remembered it from the old days when I loved it. And then the old days of like, oh, this place is in a sorry state of affairs.
Really?
3 years later, they're reopening it. They're investing a bunch of money in it. And the course is back. It's going to be great. And back to where it once was.
Mm-hmm.
It was disappointing. It was sad. It was better than the last time I played it, but you're like, they're never going to get the money. I mean, it was Memorial Day and it was perfect for Memorial Day, albeit super windy.
Yeah.
There were enough rounds out there, but there's just like no buzz around the place. So
yeah,
it was sad, but whatever.
That's golf. Disappointing.
Yeah. Golf. Yeah. That was nice.
Right. Golf balls.
I hit golf balls. Half of them okay. So a little bit of them good and a lot of them bad.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's one of those things like, oh, I just got fit for these new irons and I've been really looking forward to it. So there was nothing to do with equipment whatsoever. I was just a hot mess. So there you go.
Great.
Go ahead.
So right before we went on, I don't even know if you saw it yet. The first list, I think for the first 42 players of the first event of the LIV, aka LIV Tour, was released.
I checked the notes to be like, oh, I haven't added anything. I've hardly been in a state. And I also realized like whatever I got going right now is giving me like terrible stigmatism. So you know how you get the like, lines off of things,
Sure.
So it's a real treat to read things, but
that was awesome. Yeah.
So I said, oh, maybe I'll just leave it. I don't care. I'll just let Chris tell me about it. And it'll be authentic. But I nope, I gotta look. Yeah. Talk about the list.
So some people that we knew were going to be on there, right? Your guy, Poulter, Dick Bland is on there.
Side note, of all the people we've talked about through all this, I'm sure you rake me over the coals and how unpatriotic of me. What a genius move for that guy. Like, mediocre, whatever. But I think all the talk about how many years he went without a win and this, that, whatever. And I'll just go soak up some easy paydays here. And after 30 years of grinding.
Right. Totally, man. Like I think a lot of the people that you saw, Kevin Na, I didn't know. So I guess we'll get into the surprises or not surprises, but like, oh, okay. But like Kevin Na on that list was interesting. Did we know that Graham McDowell was a possibility? Did I miss that?
I knew that one.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's like my Ian Poulter.
Him, Justin Rose, all like a lot of these guys who just have clearly been. Yeah, they were really great. Rose, especially fairly recently, was a very good golfer, but he's not on the list yet. But he's
not yet to it. Yeah, but you've got Sergio Garcia, obviously. Who is the other big name that was on there?
I feel like you're missing are you purposely not getting to the biggest one? Or
Yeah, the biggest surprise was DJ, obviously, right, okay. Dustin Johnson, who I don't even know. I think there was a joke somewhere on Twitter. It was like, does he know that he signed up for this? Is he aware? Or like they're just like, Dustin, you're going to go play golf here and you're going to get $20 million. And he's like, cool.
Yeah.
I'll take my boat over there and I'll hit some golf balls.
You said Westwood.
Yeah, Lee Westwood, which we obviously knew about. I thought there was one other American.
Taylor Gooch.
That was the big shock, I feel like, along with DJ. Of him going over there, which I don't know, whatever. Taylor Gooch.
Well, I mean,
good for him, I guess.
He won this year and he's done all right, but it's like,
yeah, but he's like Max Homa's best friend, and it's like a whole thing. He's a Twitter personality, sort of. Like
yeah, that doesn't. Max Homa's best friend doesn't equal zeros in your bank account,
right? Yeah.
Oh, and then this greatest star in American golf that never was, possibly Peter Uihlein.
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
Titleist Ambassador Junior.
Right, right. So the names that aren't on the list, like you mentioned, yet, right? Obviously, Phil Mickelson was nowhere to be found on that list. Bubba Watson, who I thought was going
4 to 6 weeks with his injury. Why commit and have him on the list?
Yeah. That's right. That's right. He did have a bad, what was it? A bad knee or something? Torn meniscus? Yeah. Torn meniscus.
So, yeah.
No Bryson.
Injury.
Also, well, now I thought he was back. I thought he was okay now.
I thought he wasn't playing. Yet? Yeah. I thought didn't he withdraw? I don't know.
He came out with some weird statement too today. It's like, all right, bro, just so everybody hears. Maybe stop talking for a minute.
Yeah. Hey, Squishburger, hush. Right? Has anybody want to be quiet? You call him a Squishburger.
Squishburger. This is the best. That is the best.
This is really going to show too how much I just do not pay attention to anything. I'm paying attention to the playoffs of hockey, and that's it.
I heard. Is it Tampa and Colorado is like just a free for all? We have lots of offense.
Colorado and Edmonton before Edmonton were up. Colorado was up 6-3 or 4.
Wow,
can't remember. And they said before the game, like, these teams aren't worried if they give up 5 goals because they can score goals so much. And sure enough, in the midway through the second period, a little over midway through the second, when I went to put my kid to bed and all that, so who knows how it finished? But 6-3 or 6-4, and it hit. God,
wow.
Offensively speaking, both of those teams are so freaking good. It's not even funny.
It's kind of like the new NHL were made. This is what they wanted at the end of the day. Right. They wanted these teams that are super fast and really good. They don't have to. They're not huge guys. They're not back checking a lot. They're just flying up and down the ice.
Well, and it's hard to. You can't back check. Like, the game's so fast. It's just bang down the other way. So it's not even an element to the game. And you look at this game and you go, man, I don't see how any team beats either of these teams. Whoever wins this series is going to win the cup.
Yeah.
But then I'm just going to assume Tampa Bay just fleeces the Rangers.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you run into Tampa Bay, who can run and gun and beat you up. And they have Vasilevsky, and who's like the greatest goalie since Brodeur and Waugh combined. Put him in net, like, good luck.
Yeah.
And Big Rig Maroon wins his 4th cup in a row.
Tampa.
Yeah, it's just, and hey, you guys are like the Yankees and salary cap, whatever. It's like, okay, fine, well, let's deal with our salary cap and put new people in. Oh, we're still awesome. Sorry.
Yeah, when they were all their guys too. They're not quite like the Yankees. Well, I guess the Yankees build a little bit from within and then supplement.
There's been a few, but generally speaking, it's all people they've had.
I mean, that's the new NHL. Like, that's why the Blackhawks fell apart, because they couldn't refresh their roster with their own people.
Blackhawks, I don't want to talk about them. Blackhawks suck so bad and everything.
Anyways, LIV Tour round 1 of the first event, 9 days from now, William. 9 days. It's going to be a thing, man.
I will be. All right, so we've both conceded to, like, we're kind of giving up on it. We don't really care. We probably will watch it. Do we? If
it's watchable, I don't even know what it's going to be on.
That's a good point.
But yeah, essentially.
Do we go watch it at Rich Harvest Farms? I feel like that's the last bastion of me being like, well, it's okay because I'm not doing that.
Right. Look, if you want to give me a credential and put me behind the ropes and I can get I'm 5 feet from Dustin Johnson, I'll make the drive.
That means I have an obligation. You know what I mean? I got to do something? Damn.
You don't have to do anything. You just get a credential. Who cares?
All right, fine. I'm in. Yeah, we could have those.
I'm trying to think of the other names. I got to look it up.
We could be authorized by the bloody Saudi government. Man, Chris, we'd be so controversial.
Wait, what's this? Oh, the other thing too, I think that I just saw is that here's the real thing that's interesting. Ryan French, Monday Q Info, right? He's the source. He says he got a call from a person that is in the know, apparently, that one of the amateurs that joined the tour.
Oh, I was going to ask you about that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, got $6 million up front. An amateur got $6 million. He hasn't played
that answers it to me then. So I was going to ask you, it's 3 amateurs. I want to say it's the 21 USAM champion is one of them, and then some 15-year-old kid who won some Asian event.
Yes. Yes.
What's the appeal for them to play in this? Because they're amateurs, but in the new amateur rules, you can keep amateur status and make money. So
Yep.
That is something.
It is quite, I mean, that a lot of people are saying like, that's the true threat, right? Is if they start to bring in these amateurs that turn out to be stars.
They win the pipeline.
Right. Yeah. And giving somebody, here's the rest of the names. Let's see. Martin Keimer was the one I was thinking about.
Oh, that sounds about. I mean, no surprise.
Yeah. Martin Keimer's in there. So that was the other one that kind of surprised me. Other than that,
you? I feel like that would be like right in the Lee Westwood cookie cutter.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't know.
Especially for a guy who every time it looks like he's starting to, hasn't found his form and
he's really fallen off. Now he seems like he was just a fluke. Like that was the number 1 player in the world at one point. Yeah. I guess it's just kind of went with the way of Justin Rose too. Rose was number 1 for a beat, and then he started playing different clubs or something weird, right?
Yeah, then he went for that Homa deal and Hanma, sorry, not Max Homa.
Anyways, that's our LIV coverage for the week, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening.
We'll still save it for another show. I feel like I have more energy in it, but what the LIV Tour even means to everybody, and as far as like who even cares. But like I said, save that.
I think at the end of the day, it'll be a lot of gnashing of teeth about nothing.
Teeth, gums.
And I think Dustin Johnson is going to be that's a big deal. Yeah. That's a bigger deal, I would argue, than Phil Mickelson playing.
Oh, 100%. He's like,
right. Like, yeah, that dude's still in his prime, could still compete.
Relevant. Yeah.
Right.
He's still moving golf clubs. Phil's still moving golf clubs. Who am I kidding?
Yeah. I mean, he's in some, but now I don't know. Dustin Johnson's like, whatever, top 10 in the world or something. Like, anyways.
Married to Paulina.
He is now. Congratulations, DJ.
Congrats to both of you.
Oh, the other one that, the other guy that's playing for the LIV Tour is another Koepka. Do you see the other Koepka?
Oh,
he's in.
Is, huh?
Chase Koepka's playing in the LIV Tour.
Might as well. It's good on him. Go get him, Chase, and all of you.
Way to go, Squishburger.
You guys are gonna win. You guys are gonna get so much money. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you guys are now rich. Congratulations. Way to go.
Meanwhile, I'm like, shit. I had to give up $1,800 to fix part of my chimney this week. Awesome. You're getting $6 million for hitting a golf ball around London.
Right.
And you don't even have to play well. All right.
Also
before I move on or wrap this thing up, one of those two, you figure it out.
Okay.
This TV talk. I don't know how much we want to dive into this. I'm guessing you started Stranger Things.
I have indeed. Have you? You're a Stranger Things guy, right?
Yeah.
We haven't talked about it in a while. Yeah. Have you started it at all?
No, I was finishing up Better Call Saul.
Okay.
So I'm finished. I'm fully up to speed on that with the mid-season finale and all that. And this is the final season. So
right.
It's been a weird. Are you up to speed on it?
Better Call Saul?
Yeah.
No, remember I stopped watching after like the 3rd season. I got to go back. I think once it's done, I'll go and binge through it.
Well, it's been it's been sort of like a weird last half season where you're going, wait, am I remembering a Breaking Bad storyline? In short,
really?
he's come from Jimmy McGill. Now we're seeing like where Saul Goodman came from and how Saul Goodman and the Saul Goodman process all was put together.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to get storylines mixed up, but at the same time, they're tying up Better Call Saul storylines in this series. So it's been a little, what the hell's going on? But the last episode had a pretty good, like, holy shit. So
really?
I am looking forward to the next half of it. But
I don't know if you don't want to answer this and you want to wait, but like, do they go beyond like post Breaking Bad with Saul Goodman?
Not
or
yet.
Is it only leading up until he meets?
If they do, it's not yet.
Okay. Because I guess at the end of the day, we already know he's working at Cinnabon and he's in hiding, right?
Right.
That's kind of how the show started way back when.
Right now is really tightening up how he got involved with Mike Ehrmantraut and Gus Fring.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
But why and like what? So yeah, there's why I won't say anything more. But yeah,
okay.
It gets,
okay. Mike, one of the all-time great characters of television.
Yeah, he's so
quite
good.
Honestly, so good. Gus Fring too, for that matter.
We'll do Stranger Things. I was gonna start that tonight, but then we got to record this show. I did finish up Shoresy, the Letterkenny spinoff, and oh my god, it's so good. And
I still haven't watched a single minute of Letterkenny.
Well, I'm sure.
What is that on Hulu?
Yeah, we can watch it on Hulu here in the States. Crave if you're in Canada.
Okay.
But if you're not a hockey guy and like hockey culture and locker rooms were not part of your life.
Yeah.
I think you can still watch it and enjoy it, but you probably needed to be a Letterkenny fan to be like, yeah, this is good. If you're not a hockey guy, but so John Heisey, a lifelong hockey guy growing up in the culture, said, if you haven't seen all of Letterkenny, that's fine. Watch this, you'll enjoy it. And he did. There's a lot of funny stuff. There's a lot of like sort of C-D list hockey people in it too, where if you're like,
okay.
Oh, I remember Terry Ryan drafted by the Montreal Canadiens in 2002.
Right.
Well, because his story was he was drafted like 5th overall by the Montreal Canadiens and just was a monster in junior hockey and fizzled out.
He's a washout.
Justice what he did in the NHL. Yeah. But he's notoriously a super cool, nice, fun guy, and he plays a character from Newfoundland in it, and he's so good. He's like to the point of like, how's this guy not pulling more like, playing goofy Canadian characters in TV shows and movies? He's very enjoyable in it. So Shoresy was fantastic, and then watched the first 2 episodes of Kenobi.
Oh, I haven't done that. I haven't gotten to that yet either.
I don't know how I feel. I'm finding myself in this
very, very mixed reviews. I feel.
Well, I'm starting to think about it. How many of the shows have come out? I felt like Book of Boba Fett really fizzled out at the end and was so good. I thought, Mandalorian's obviously all of it's been so good. And I think it's like people are getting so used to the TV shows. They feel like their movies are being lost and devalued. And then they're like, well, okay, great. When are we going to make a good movie again? And then there's certain people like, don't make good movies again. Let history just soak and be history and appreciated. So I don't know what to make of it. It's I'll put it this way. There's been 2 episodes. There have been moments in that are a little corny and cheesy, but I've enjoyed it. I think there's potential to be.
But isn't that part of the? They've always been a little cheesy here and there. Every Star Wars movie and television show has had some cheese.
But remember when we talked about in Book of Boba Fett, the like last couple episodes, the big fights in the city and how I said it looked like Mando and Boba flopping around looked like when they had the guys in The Irishman CGI to look younger fighting and they just couldn't like lift their legs.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Sort of along those lines. That said, I like where it's going. I think there's potential to be a really cool little hole in the story, the whole Star Wars story. The Skywalker legend.
Yeah.
Addressed and filled in. So I'm excited for what could be. But what I have to say is 2 episodes in, the whole thing feels very much to me like a hey, Ewan, Hayden, you both deserved better. You worked hard and auditioned to be part of one of the greatest franchises in cinematic history, and you slaved away at it for us for all those years, and what we gave you was that product. Here's some redemption. Like, I feel like that could be a major part of what's happening here.
Interesting.
Think about it. Ewan McGregor, as a human and an actor, deserves to go out better. If he's part of the Star Wars, as part of Star Wars canon, he deserves to have his name, just being Ewan McGregor himself, associated with better quality product.
I have very mixed emotions about the 3 prequels. I need to go back and watch them again. I think it's become the thing to shit on anything that isn't like the 3 originals. I just think it's been like everybody wants to hate everything that wasn't, something very specific to George Lucas.
I agree.
And I don't think they're great, but I don't think they're as bad as sort of the internet makes them out to be.
I went that way with my young kids and be like, oh, there's actually these other 3. You'll show those 2 too. No, they are. I thought so. This wasn't me looking for. I don't mind. I'd love for them to be good. I'm like, no, these are bad. Like Jar Jar just is never good.
Jar Jar's fine. No. That's what I mean. Like, who cares? He's a Star Wars character. He didn't add anything, but he didn't take anything away. The storyline's still the storyline.
No, I think he did. I think he did take away.
Okay.
And the Clone
Go
Wars
write a blog about it, Star Wars guy. You're just like everybody else. You squishburger.
I really am. But even like the cartoons, I go watch the Clone Wars cartoons. I haven't watched all of them, but they're very good and the storylines are good. I go, why we could have avoided this. We just it's not good. So I think that's what, and I'm you're exactly right about people like it's just a cool thing to do to shit on these things. It's like, no, I remember even as a kid going, this is very underwhelming. And it was even, I'm trying to think, Phantom Menace, I would have been about 8th grade. And I think it was in Phantom Menace where Yoda has the big lightsaber fight and all of a sudden like
the big fight scene,
super acrobatic.
Yeah.
And I go, wait, okay. There's a lot of that. And
that's what I mean. I have to go back and watch, because I think some of those fight scenes were incredible.
Oh, Darth Maul ones are.
Darth Maul is unbelievable.
The best in all of it. Like that goes without. That's
all right. Well, I'm glad we agree there.
Darth Maul might be the coolest character in all of Star Wars. If it's not Darth Vader, it's probably him. I feel like even he was paid a disservice in a lot of ways. But if I was a real Star Wars nerd, I'd be like, no, it's all right. Clone Wars did him right, and his whole storylines. Okay, all right, cool.
Wow, this has really been a thing. This is really.
Here's how I learned about really what happened outside of the movies with Darth Maul. I saw there was a Lego one day where he was his all red body and spider legs. What? I thought he died.
Right. No, he didn't die. Right.
Whoa.
Right.
So there you go. All right.
Spoilers, maybe. Hey, okay. So before you wrap this up, and we do what are they called? Like, what do you call them on here before you say like what you're doing on the website or whatever?
Call to actions?
No, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Promotions before we promote what's going on in the
plugs. Plugs. Yeah.
Plugs. Yeah. Next week, let's announce the winner of the golf bag.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we'll do that. So every listeners, subscribers, I guess subscription, it's a subscriber context. So listeners go subscribe and comment on that video. It's 3 episodes ago. But let's do that. And then I am ready to give another thing away as I continue the purge. And I think this one will be another well-received giveaway. I think it's a good one.
It's what I'm thinking it is. We are going to go through a stretch where we have a variety of this category.
Fair. I'm trying to think of a good like teaser. let's just say you want to know, your game from a statistical perspective. Perhaps the next giveaway could help you with that.
Better subscribe. So
you should subscribe. Hit the bell.
Hit the bell. All right. Yeah. Hey, let's do our plugs. What do you got to
plug? Okay.
What do you have to plug?
I don't have anything, but I do have you, which is funny because I scheduled it. Now I understand kind of, we've been getting, you've been doing so many of the what's in the boxes lately that I've been scheduling them up to be released on social media. And one of them dropped today.
Yeah.
With the Cobalt Q6 rangefinder.
Yes.
It's got a lot of unique features. It's very interesting, including the case. Even the case is unique.
Yeah.
So go and watch that What's in the Box.
Review to follow soon. What were you starting to say though? You figured out? What have you figured out?
Oh, like the way you schedule your posts. Like you have your calendar and you schedule your posts. So like I've started to schedule up the What's in the Boxes. You can schedule them in a variety of ways to drop on my little clips that I create on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter.
Right.
And all those places. So I just schedule them up. Like today, somebody liked it or commented or something on the post on one of the social media channels. And I totally forgotten that video was dropping today and that all the social media support was dropping today.
So you even preload your social media support for these things?
Sure do.
Man, you're better than me. So the way I'll just say my preload thing works, it doesn't tie into Instagram.
Oh, you should do that, man. It's nice.
It's a pain. But then the other one I can do in advance, but it doesn't populate the pictures the way I want it to. Because the link's technically not live. So maybe one day we'll compare notes and I'll just revamp this whole damn thing.
Yeah, because YouTube doesn't do that. Obviously I schedule this production meeting, everybody. Everyone lean in. Obviously we schedule our YouTube videos to drop at certain dates, certain times. If I put a link, if I schedule a tweet, that link still will, I use something else, but that will populate the tweet.
Look at us, man. Just look at us.
Same with Facebook and Instagram.
All the internets.
For that matter.
Yeah, maybe one day, just for fun, we should show each other all the goofy ways we do stuff. It's only taken us 2 years to realize that might be a worthwhile exercise. All right.
What do you got?
Over to driverangeheroes.com. You can check out my review of the Tour Edge Exotic C722 tie utility iron. That is quickly finding its way into my bag. It's a great golf club. Go check that out. And then on Wednesday was the R Golf Arthur 2.0. You recently would have seen the What's in the Box here on this YouTube channel, but you can go read the review. It's an interesting piece of golf equipment. Go check it out.
Okay. I got a fun, whenever you want to play golf with me again and we do a Range Life gear talk.
Gear talk.
A gear talk.
Yeah.
Right. I have a fun way to do a review for some putters because I know you got a couple. So maybe you pick one and we do a little fun little Range Life.
You're gonna have to
gear talk.
Send me a list to be like, hey, these are all the things, and I go, oh yeah, I lost track. That spreadsheet we keep, I forgot to keep updating it.
That's right.
Which I did at one point. So it was fairly updated, as of February 1st, probably.
Right. Just bring everything that you've got to Bartlett Hills and we'll just run through it.
I'll go rent a U-Haul.
We need 12 hours worth of. We have the most daylight we're going to have right now. So.
Get all the gear talks in. All right. That's Chris McEwen at Chris McEwen everywhere. Go follow him. Do the things. I'm Bill Bush at driverangeheroes.com at Range Heroes. This has been that Range Life, a show sometimes about golf. Thank you for joining us this week and next week. That's whatever. Both of the weeks.